What is going on, everybody? Jay,
Was on the wrong side.
well, people want to know, where was the singing?
I don't sing when it's just me and you.
Okay, well, that's good.
The last thing I want is to get you more aggravated than you already are. So
That's true. Well,
so I learned my lesson.
I'm double aggravated because I'm late today.
Yeah.
I'm late today because I had to put out a breaking video for Sports Wars, so had to make the thumbnail and everything right before we went live. So it's my fault that we're late. Just wanted to
Wasn't
put
me.
that out there. It's my fault that we're late. So it is my bad. No one else's. Usually I'm not the reason we're late to this stream.
That is
But
true.
I'll take all of the blame this time. Take all the blame. How are you doing, Jay? You sound tired.
No, I'm doing well actually. I'm doing well. There's just been at least in my world over here, it's just been like nonstop phone call conversations and stuff as I get ready to launch the second book here in a few months. It's almost finished, which is pretty awesome. So that's and we're getting ready for Christmas. I don't know if you live in Florida. Christmas started November 1st.
Yeah,
I'm all set.
what the fuck? Like, there's
It's weird, isn't
there's
it?
another holiday in between.
Yeah, we take a pause for like 3 days to just eat for Thanksgiving, but you know
I
that's
think
it's
it's
pretty cool.
because there's no seasons here, so
Yeah,
I feel like Thanksgiving very much is like everything I think about fall, like I associate with Thanksgiving holiday, like in terms of the weather, in terms of the leaves, like everything. Um,
the weather's been nice the past few days here though.
it was nice one day, and then it got kind of hot again. It's like up in the 80s again today.
So this the weird thing about Central Florida is like it'll be like 80s, but once the sun goes down, it'll drop to like 60s over the winter season.
Yeah, but
So
well, I don't know if you've noticed this, Jay. I've noticed that when the sun's up, it's usually hotter, and then when it goes down, it gets cooler.
I mean, in some areas of the world, the sun could be out; it could be freaking cold.
It's true.
But
That's
yeah,
true.
that's an excellent point. That's an
Yeah, just
excellent
something that
point.
I've noticed throughout the course of like my experience as a human being. It's one of those things. I know not a lot of people noticed it, but
Bro,
yeah, I'm looking forward to it getting cooler.
I went like one time when one of our trips out to Vegas, I did that four-wheeling out in the desert, and they're like, you gotta go before the sun comes up. So we went and it was like bone chilling freezing. As soon as the sun came up, dear God, it was like it turned to like 100 degrees. I've never seen it happen like that fast, like or felt it happen that fast. It was pretty wild. So anyway, doesn't really
Oh.
do that here in Florida, but like that was a wild event that I personally experienced.
Yeah,
So
I miss real weather, to be honest with you. It's one of the things ever since I mean, really the past like 12, 15 years of my life or whatever, I haven't experienced because it's just I've been living in South Carolina or
yeah,
California or whatever, Virginia. Virginia, at least you get like a couple days of snow. Maybe you get like one real day of snow a year. That's about it. But
I
yeah,
mean, like most people
Thanksgiving's
start.
like my favorite. Like Christmas is my favorite holiday, but
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
same.
is my favorite like time of the year.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, absolutely, same. But a lot of people celebrate Christmas like the day after Thanksgiving. Like that's when the tree goes up. That's when like I think that's like the norm,
Mhm.
right?
That
The
is
big
the
shopping
standard.
day. Yeah, it's a
Yes.
standard. Here, for some reason, I've been here years now. It's like November 1st. So,
It's socially acceptable
yeah.
to put your Christmas tree up after Thanksgiving.
You gonna get a tree, man? Big fat real tree?
Not a real
Make
one.
Really?
Fuck.
Why not?
Because I don't have to deal with the needles. I don't have to deal with the sap. I don't have to fucking water it. I'm just gonna have a fake one.
But then, like, when it's all said and done, like in Florida, you could take your tree out in
Throw it on
certain
the
areas and like
sidewalk.
set it on fire. It's freaking awesome. They
Well,
actually have events here. I know in Polk County and other areas, they have events where they want you to bring your tree, where they're just gonna like dump a bunch of gasoline on it and just set it ablaze. It's such a cool thing. All these people show up and they bring their old Christmas tree in
so
January and they just like They have food trucks out there and everything. It's kind of
Back home, there's a Christmas tree farm that, they just have Christmas trees, and you drive through and you pick out the one you want. You fucking saw it down. You
oh
get
wow,
either bring a saw or they give you a little fucking rent a hacksaw and it takes you fucking forever. You're
really?
no, and the needles. Yeah. That's how you do it, man. That's how I did it for years. That's why I'm kind of like, I'm okay to not have
Usually it's
to
like
do it anymore.
you go to the grocery store, you see the big white tent going up. You're like, trees are coming to town. That's it.
Yeah. Those are all
So
dog shit too. Who knows how long they've been cut? And yeah, I don't
true.
I don't like going to like a Walmart or like a fucking an Ace hardware store parking lot and getting a Christmas tree. So I'll just get a fake. I got a fake one. It's all good.
Is
I
it
don't need
typical green? Is it like a typical green?
Yeah, it's not one of those like snow covered ones. Like what the
Oh,
fuck?
okay.
You see those freaks out there with like a blue tree or something. Y'all are weird.
Bro, they sell them now where it's like they're all like the lights are already built inside the decoration, and you just literally just put it on the ground and it pops up, and it's like, all right, we're done.
I will say this. The idea that now they have not only they got the pre-lit ones, but now they have pre-lit ones that you can adjust to whatever fucking colors you want.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. That's because it used to be there's a fucking big argument. Did you want an all white tree?
Yeah.
Did you want to put multicolors on it? Did you just want to do a couple? Right now, you just do whatever you want.
Now, as a kid, were you in charge of untangling the mess?
No.
Yeah. My dad was
that was
always
a dad
like,
thing. That was a dad thing.
who's gonna untangle all the Christmas lights? That'll take you 3 days. That'll keep you busy, son.
How about whoever put it away? How about that?
Yeah.
I will say though, it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter how you fucking put the cords away. When you pull them out, they're gonna be tangled.
That's right.
Like it does not matter. Like I used to have this fucking method. I'd do it like right here and right here.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom. I wrap them all up. It's nice and perfect. I even get some little like twine and like do it. Put it back in. You pull it out. It's fucked somehow. I don't know if Santa goes in there or some bullshit.
I know. That was the first argument of the family. We'd pull out the Christmas lights and Dad would be like, who the freak put these lights away? Was that you, son? Get over here and untangle this mess.
That's right.
Okay.
I saw Carolyn in chat earlier. She said, I got a haircut. I did get a haircut. So we're got to look fly for the Daily Show.
That's it, man. That's it.
Did you get a haircut, Jay?
No, not yet.
I saw someone after she said that, someone in the chat said Jeremy took them to the barber. I would never in my life like take any recommendation for Jeremy for like hair care or barber or anything. Like not a chance.
If you guys only knew how he cuts his hair.
It's not about his trailer park as you could imagine.
It's just
still got the same clippers from the trailer park.
There's some self-grooming going on there. That's all I gotta say.
That
don't use a mirror.
The hat helps.
The hat does help.
The hat helps.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I wouldn't take any recommendations from the Jeremy Haircut Club.
Oh man. Doug B for $50. It's the RK3PO morning show.
Hey.
Okay, so when it's Ryan and Jay on Daily, we need the RK3PO intro. What say yay, chat? Also, hi Ryan, hi Jay, hi chat. What's up,
hey.
Doug B?
Doug B again. Jeremy's in the chat.
Fuck my hair. I don't care about looking good. No one ever claimed you did. I was just simply reiterating that for the audience, that if Jeremy was like, hey, I know this great barber, I'd be like, I'll do some Yelp reviews for myself. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Thanks, but no thanks on the recommendation. Oh man. All right, let me pull let's get into some of these super chats. We got some, man, the Marvel news just keeps rolling, Jay. Like it is bad news after bad news. And now Loki, Samba TV didn't release the numbers for Loki like they do for most things. So we had to wait for these Nielsen ratings. And sure enough, looks like Loki may have lost about half of its audience from season 1.
Jeez.
You can kind
You're
of
the only one
tell.
I know that's watched it. Like I think the F&T people have watched it. You're the only one that I speak to or spoken to that have seen the series. Like, do you have an overall grade? Like, we're coming down to the wire, right? Like one episode left.
It's been a whole lot of
Nothing.
it's been a whole lot of nothing for the most part. Like things have happened, but they haven't had like too many real repercussions. And now we're in the we're in the finale, and we just had an entire episode that showed you, oh, time's like a circle, but they're gonna go back to where it was before and try to change these things that happened. So it's really like not much has happened. There's gonna be a lot riding on this finale to make this an actual impactful series. You got some people out there that are like, this was the Infinity War for Loki. It's like, I mean, if you mean that like some people died in it and then he found a way to like bring them back through time, like, okay. If you mean like it was good or emotionally impactful or it mattered, no. Like it's a very monotonous, bland, boring series. It really is. It's
It
rough.
just sounds like that's the writing that happens in these Disney Plus shows from Marvel and Star Wars. It's like a show that nothing really happens, or that they could tell the entire tale in like 20 minutes. Like,
It's like Loki just looking around very sad,
yeah.
like, for 5 episodes so far.
I mean, the same
And
thing with Ahsoka. It's like they just switch places. Like Thrawn escapes and Ahsoka switch places with Ezra.
like,
She-Hulk,
those
nothing.
stories can be okay. Like, if there's not a ton of meat to the plot, those stories can be okay if you're doing great character development or character
Mm,
interactions or impactful things that make a difference in the long run of whatever you're trying to tell. But in the case of Ahsoka, there was nothing there.
yeah,
Like, it was stupid. People didn't like it. They didn't like the characters themselves. They didn't feel like there was any depth to them. They didn't feel like they actually, uh, made any progress. And even things that you could have done that would have been interesting, like, I don't know, make Ezra force Sabine to tell him how the fuck she got there and what the ramifications are, and them dealing with Ezra dealing with the fact that he did all of this to get Thrawn away from the galaxy only for Sabine to fuck it all up in that way. But at the same time, it's because she cared about him that much to go fuck it up just for a chance to see him again. And then Sabine dealing with her failure. Like, that's actually something interesting that characters could work through
right.
that you could see on screen. But instead, they don't do that
But I mean,
because Dave
even
Filoni
go.
writes for kindergartners.
I mean, spending 225 million on the She-Hulk series that did nothing as well. It was just a bunch of fluff, and at the very end, she jumps through a time portal to speak to Kevin Feige as a robot to beat the bad guys, change everything, and have sex again with the Daredevil. So that's
It's all
literally the whole show. There was like nothing to this show.
it's all about content, content,
Yeah,
content.
exactly.
Content, 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 and we'll see. Blade. We got some more news on Blade today, which is pretty
Oh,
funny.
put a chick in it,
Um,
make it lame.
how about put 3 chicks in it and make it really lame? That seemed to be what they decided to do. So we'll talk about that. But let's get through a couple more of these chats.
Sure.
Lover of Green for $20. Hail the panel. Yesterday, the Side Scrollers pod got demonetized. Wait, their channel got demonetized or just one stream? That's an important question. They exposed Sweet Baby. I've been hearing people talking about Sweet Baby for a while, a consulting firm that pushes the message in AAA games. Their DI and steroids, F&T, and the Fellowship should look into the matter. Well, if they just got one, my streams get demonetized all the time because of swearing or like things like
Yeah.
that. But or just like talking about like a trans person or something that happens. But if their channel got demonetized, that's something else. So if you could give me some clarification, that would be a really big deal if the channel got demonetized. A
I would
stream,
assume they would have tweeted something out, though, right?
maybe a stream, like streams get demonetized all the time. And sometimes after appeal, they go back up. But yeah, not good if that's the case. Godzilla's Greaser for 5. Here's to history's greatest monster. Happy Godzilla Day. Did you know it's Godzilla Day?
I did not know. Happy Godzilla Day. I'm more of a
Um,
King Kong guy, but you know, that's
okay.
just me.
So You Me in the Movies says side scrollers wasn't demonetized. Craig just changed something with his ads that paused it. It's back up now. Okay, well that's good to know. So yeah, that would be crazy if they got demonetized.
Right.
So, but it looks like everything's good. So sometimes if you do that, if you're making changes with Google AdSense or something,
Right.
it can, monetization might be a little wonky for a day or two before it goes through. So maybe something like that. Maybe something like that happened. Mr. Jandra, welcome to the 199. Thank you. Slick Gossip for 5. If you watch Star Wars Theory's latest video trashing Disney Star Wars, even though he's a Dave Filoni shill. I love his content. I saw that he made a video going on a rant about how could you spend more on She-Hulk than Obi-Wan or whatever. So to be fair, everything that they film in the volume, almost the reason they're doing it is to keep costs down. Versus anything live action they do with production stuff is going to be expensive. I mean, that's why Andor's like $200 million, whereas like Mandalorian and Obi-Wan and those movies or those shows are more around the $100 million range, because filming in the volume can be incredibly cost effective. And I think Obi-Wan was one of those ones that was done in the volume, and that's why it was
why the numbers are lower. Yeah,
that's why the numbers are different. But that's what we've seen, and I assume Ahsoka's probably in the same realm. But who knows? But yeah, the idea that that's why they do the volume. But unfortunately, it doesn't feel like a lot of people understand how to shoot in the volume. And it doesn't matter how much money you're saving when you bring on shitty writers for things. But yeah, I did see that. Where am I? Ellie Reen, member for 6 months. I have fun playing Mario Wonder with my dad. He's really enjoying the game and has his own save file now. Nintendo really nailed this game. Thank you, Irene. I'm glad you're enjoying
that's good.
it. Yeah, and like kind of back to like I don't care if you gave Obi-Wan a $300 million budget. With that plot, it's dog shit.
Yeah.
Bro, like
pretty much.
I was talking about this the first time they said the words rematch, if you remember. I was like, they're gonna fucking have them meet. They're going to have them meet. They're going to have them duel each other again, and it's going to fucking bastardize the lore. It's not what happened. That's never what happened. And I saw some people be like, well, no, that's not really what they mean. They wouldn't do that. And then there was like another interview talking about them having multiple fights. And then the excuses started coming out. Well, they never specifically said in episode 4 that's the first time they'd met specifically Mustafar. And it's like, bro. Like, people will make any excuse they can. But yeah,
that's it.
I don't care if you gave Obi-Wan Kenobi a $500 million budget. The premise of the show was dog shit.
Yes.
From the beginning. So ultimately, like, that doesn't matter too much to me. But yeah, like the things where they're actually like building practical sets end up costing way more than when they're filming things in the volume. My kill for 5. If it wasn't for the delay, could have watched Dune Part 2 this weekend. I know, right? God, that would have been nice to go see.
Something a little different.
God, that would have been awesome. Cole Hauser, member for 6 months. Happy Friday, Jay and Ryan. The best show in the world. Love you guys, even Jeremy. Jay, you rock. Ryan, my brother, you Bombay. 199. Yo, Joe, praise Allah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I still got my Black Panther mask somewhere around here. The Carnivore Trucker for 2. Why are you Jay?
I don't know.
Steiner Math, member
born this way.
Steiner Math, member for 9 months, with a bowl on the head and clippers. I don't think he uses a bowl. Have you seen him cut his hair?
No. I have not been there to watch him cut his hair. I've seen the after effects.
Somebody said,
but not.
I swear Doug B sent a chat about this, but I don't see it. I don't see it though. I swear it's for $20. Here it is from Doug B. Yeah. Don't tell me Jeremy uses the Flowbee. I don't think so. The Flowbee's cool though. The Flowbee's like the vacuum that like sucks your hair clippings up. Listen, they use that shit in the military.
Do they really?
Not the Flowbee itself, but like an industrialized version of the Flowbee. So they don't get clippings on because they're doing the same fucking basic haircuts for everybody, right? So they just said, and it vacuums your shit right up so it doesn't get anywhere. So yes.
I never
But
used
thank you,
one.
Doug.
I had friends that had that. Like you could always tell the flow be cut because they couldn't get a fade. It was just like it was just like the same line.
The Floby. Chris Benoit for 5J. Great to hear about a second book. My son loved the first one. Reads it at bedtime. Won't sleep. So I have to do what I do to put
Dear
him
God.
down. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bro, you should put that. Yeah, you should put that in your like
My review.
yeah, you know how people like they have a couple things on the back of the book or an inside page, like quotes from Variety or different outlets. Chris
Woo.
Benoit gives it 5 stars, puts his
Yeah.
kid right to sleep. That'd be great.
You wonder how many people would get that.
I think the people that did would enjoy it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think too many people would get upset about that. I mean, not too many people. Maybe a couple here or there.
It doesn't matter what you do, people will get upset.
That's very true.
They get upset.
Speaking of, let me pull up this Bounding into Comics article because I want to talk about a little more about Ahsoka since we were talking about it anyway. Bro, this is not good for
It's not what they
Ahsoka.
wanted, that's for sure. But it's crazy, like exactly what you have been saying. It's like they did everything in their power to make this show like the shining light of Disney Star Wars. They changed the times, the promotion, everything that they possibly do. That for the first time in their history, at least from what I believe, they tweeted out that 14 million number after the first episode. They haven't done that for any other show, and it's like, here you go.
Well, that was the first time they did it, and they've done it a couple times after since then. But you're right. The first time they ever revealed viewership numbers for Disney Plus, it was for Ahsoka, and it was in an effort to do damage control after the bad ratings numbers came in. And all along the way, we heard excuses from people, whether they're Dave Filoni fanboys, whether they're Disney Star Wars shows, whether they just want to have hope that a character that they used to care about could do something great. From the beginning, you knew the ratings were not good, and they only got worse. And now, not only do we realize that it lost, 30, 35% of their audience, somewhere around there throughout the course of this series, when you compare the finale numbers when it comes to Nielsen, take a look at this. Ahsoka, 575 million minutes watched in its finale episode. Andor, Star Wars Andor.
Jeez.
674 million. Now, a lot of different things go into that. Obviously, the length of episodes. Andor had a couple more episodes to pull from in terms of that people could have been rewatching throughout the week and things like that. So maybe that gives a little bump. This is not what people expected. This is not the character of Andor that had a limited interest. This is Ahsoka. This is using Anakin Skywalker to try to pull people in. This is using Clone Wars and Rebels nostalgia, all this shit. This is doing theatrical releases for fan events. This is a massive marketing campaign. This is them going all in on Ahsoka because Dave Filoni's the guy that's going to be doing the big Mandoverse movie. And it's a catastrophic failure.
Jeez.
This is very, very rough news for them.
Again, people just simply walked away from Star Wars. But I do like to see like the fighting on there's like fighting online between the people that loved Andor versus the people that loved Ahsoka. It's like their own fan base was just like, yeah, Ahsoka stinks, but at least we got Andor out of it. It's definitely not what they wanted. But I don't know, man. Numbers speak for themselves. Numbers speak. We reviewed this series on my channel, and it just was for someone that didn't watch Rebels. I was just confused the whole time. So, but maybe they were hoping for something a little different.
Well, and even to be fair, even for people that did watch it, were split. Like even people that were fans of that, you had some people that loved seeing that, but you had other people being like, "Man, these are not the characters. This is not the way they'd act. This is stupid. This is dumb." I've been on the anti-Dave Filoni train for a long time. Dave Filoni hate since 2008, okay? I've hated this guy for a long fucking time. And that used to be a very unpopular opinion. when I used to talk about how much I didn't like Dave Filoni, I used to get hammered for it because there were a lot of people out there like, well, he was involved in Clone Wars and he did this. Now, the more they're seeing from him, now that he has a show that's all his baby, that's
And
not
nobody's watching it.
yeah, that's not as unpopular of an opinion as it used to be. We'll just say that people are finally figuring out who Dave Filoni is and always has been, in my opinion. But there's no doubt that bringing Hayden back for a Hayden episode, an Anakin
Yeah,
episode,
like a
and
dream
for this thing
sequence.
to not even break into the top 10 of streaming, it is a pathetic failure. It had
Yeah,
1 week in the
100%.
top 10. It's when they did their premiere and they debuted 2 episodes, so they got more watch time, more runtime. After that, fell out of the top 10, was never back. You have to go to the original programming list to see the Ahsoka numbers because it can't break the top 10 in streaming.
It's pretty sad when Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker, can't save your series. Can't save it anymore. It's I think what they did, like a lot of this was like probably from the Kenobi series where people are like, dear God, man, they just screwed up these characters again. What's the point? You know? And I even the video that Mahler put out about Star Wars can't grow up. I don't know if you watched that. Man, that is like so it's really he explains a lot of like the problem with Star Wars. It's just they are relying on cute catchphrases, bringing people back from the dead, and shiny lights to keep people, watching. They don't take risks anymore. They don't, put together any stories. It's just like, what are we gonna do here? What will bring the fans back? Well, we haven't used Anakin Skywalker yet. Let's throw him in there. Let's get
To
C-3PO in there to talk
except
about Princess Leia.
except we literally just use Anakin and Darth
That's
Vader and
true.
Obi-Wan.
Well, like not like the
Not him restored to like Revenge of the Sith version.
yeah, not Revenge of the yeah, so you're correct. So it's like that's just what they constantly do. And they've done that. It's a theme with the Disney Star Wars, like Book of Boba Fett. They put Luke Skywalker, and Mando in that series. 2 episodes without Boba Fett in them at all. The end of Mando season 2 was the big Luke Skywalker. I don't think they did any of that in Andor because I didn't actually watch the series, so I'm not sure what they put if they did that in Andor. They might not have, but everything else, it's just like this series seems to be running a little thin. Let's bring back somebody. Why does Jay's mic sound like crap? Does my mic sound bad, chat? Is it not working?
I don't know. For Andor, like Mon Mothma was a pretty important part, but I wouldn't say she was like. I don't think that's an important enough character. Like, big cameo. She was like an important part of what was going on. Now, in terms of her plot and the money involved and her having to pay back, I think there's some faults in the logic for Mon Mothma's plot line in Andor in general. But you're right. It's not like they were like, hey, look, Darth Vader or something.
Yeah. It's like, look who we got here. And of all series, like the Andor series probably could have they could have put Darth Vader in that series if they wanted to.
And they might at some point.
They could have, yeah, maybe. I mean, they could have put the Emperor. I mean, they haven't. Well, I guess you could if you count the Rise of Skywalker. I was like, they haven't reused Palpatine yet, but
except for that entire movie, yeah, they brought him back to life for it.
Except for Rise of Skywalker, but they haven't used him in a TV series.
Somehow
they'll squeeze that. Let's just squeeze those lemons. So, I guess we'll see.
Jessica says, "Am I the only one who thinks Book of Boba Fett is a silly title?" I kind of understand it because if you remember the way all the Mando stuff came out, it was like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So it was like they were telling a story, this combination of chapters of the Mandalorian, and then they broke out for Boba Fett. And hey, this is the Book of Boba Fett, trying to tell you that it's connected to Mando's story, but these chapters are going to be about him. I get it from that perspective, but it is kind of a dumb title. At least it's better than just the name of whoever it is. Like
yeah,
Ahsoka, the Mandalorian.
I think Book of Boba Fett was the worst piece of garbage I've ever. I don't think anything like Kenobi was bad, but it's like the Book of Boba Fett was just that was Holy
Kenobi was
crap.
bad because we care about that story
Yeah.
like more. You know, that's why Kenobi was bad. Book of Boba Fett was more cringe inducing.
That's awful.
Although there is some pretty bad stuff in Kenobi, like the Benny Hill chase scenes with Leia, the
Even the actor themselves called that out.
walking through the Inquisitor base with a trench coat with Leia under you, like in the trench coat walking along. So you just have like a four-legged person.
Yeah.
Like the fact that that made it, that was it would have made like people would have been like, what the fuck happened if they just if you didn't show them getting back to the ship
Yeah.
rather than it being that stupid. God,
Oh, that's
that
that's the
bad
thing
show.
too. It's like the whole gate in the where all
Middle of
they
the
had to
desert.
they literally had to just walk around the little there was nothing to it. They were puzzled on how are we going to get past this gate. And it's like everybody that's watching the show can literally see a little walk. All you got to do is just walk around. It's like, what the heck, man? Yeah, and you're right. The fact that somebody watched this and went, "Yeah, good stuff, man. Like that's a green light for me. Let's go." Green light. Let's get it. Let's sell those Riva lightsabers.
God. Riva. We got a $25 from Bush and Ryu Cat. The most loved Star Wars movie in the Disney versus Rogue One. The most loved Star Wars series from the same company is Andor. Besides being in the same story, it also doesn't focus on the Force. So a success for Star Wars, no Jedi and Sith. Well, I think the success for Star Wars is the same as it is for every other, for every other medium, for every other form of entertainment. If you don't have a good story, then not much else matters. Sure, you can throw in cameos and that might keep people entertained for a while, but eventually it's going to be hollow and shallow and it's just not going to work. Mando season 2, I think, has almost no rewatchability. I've said it before. When we were going through Mando season 2, it just felt like cameo, cameo,
Yeah,
cameo.
every
Every episode
episode.
was about a different important person, Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, blah, blah, blah. So at its core, whether you have Jedi, whether you have Sith, whether you have all this stuff, if you don't have a good story, it's not going to stand the test of time. I personally think Rogue One is kind of mid. I don't think it's like some great masterpiece of a movie. I do think they rely more on nostalgia than some people think because it's all about the Death Star. You get the Vader stuff at the end. But overall, it's a solid story.
Do you think Rogue One killed any like George Lucas lore?
Well, I
Or
mean,
was it a good enough side story
it
like
depends
that?
what you mean by George
It's okay.
Lucas lore. Like, if you meant Lucasfilm established lore in terms of the expanded universe, yeah, it destroyed that. It's basically a gender swap Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors. Like, it was
Oh,
not creative. They stole these stories about stealing the Death Star plans straight from the expanded universe, and they didn't do it as well because these people have no fucking creativity. But for people that don't know that, right, they probably didn't even think about that going into it.
no.
But yeah, I mean, Cassian Andor looks like he was designed off of Kyle Katarn, who is the actual like protagonist and the lead for stealing the Death Star plans.
Wow.
In reality, there was multiple different portions of the Death Star plans that were stolen at different times and different places because they didn't want to put them all in the same fucking place. But yeah, that's a different story for another time.
Ah, I see. Well, it's pretty sad that I guess the most loved Star Wars from Disney Plus, which was Andor, is one of the lowest viewed. So even if they
But
put out something great that many people do enjoy, I guess it's like nobody cares enough to stick around to watch it.
and it was the most expensive one. And now I will say there was more rewatch in terms of like, there's more people that rewatch Andor. It seems like from the data than a
Mm,
lot of the other shit that came out. And I don't even know if I would call it the most loved. I think I would call it the most well respected.
mm. Oh,
Um,
there you go. That might be a better term.
but and I also might say that for Rogue One as well. I don't know if I'd call Rogue One like a loved movie, but I
But
think it's well
respected.
respected by people, if that makes sense.
Well, when you keep comparing all the stuff that Disney Star Wars has made from the movies and the shows, like I guess Rogue One just keeps growing in the charts. It's like, well, it's probably the best thing they ever did.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to deny that.
right.
We do have a $50 super chat from Tomac. I have been playing the KOTOR games, and I was thinking, what do you guys think the force ailments of the brainwashed Revan and the Jedi Exile if they were to be movies? The force elements? Is that what you mean? Listen, I've been pretty staunch on this. I don't want them to fucking touch. I don't want them to touch Revan at all.
Yeah.
Even though I made a video like 4 years ago saying that I think they would. I hope they don't. I hope so badly that they don't. They're going to fuck it up if they do. I don't even want this remake, reboot, whatever video game that's stuck in developmental hell that may or may not be canceled. I don't want that shit. Leave the characters alone. It's going to be too easy for them to try to insert their own identity politics into it or to turn Revan into a woman or whatever. Have you played those games?
Agreed. Which game?
KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic 1 or 2?
Yeah, years ago, man. Yeah.
Maybe I should do a replay.
Man.
I really like
Knights
of the Old Republic, yeah.
KOTOR kind of cool. No, they would screw up. Yeah, like they'll make what they'll do with who knows.
So the reason that Revan would be an easy character to do that is there have already been activists that try to do that with Revan because you can choose Revan's gender, not because Revan's non-binary, but just because it's a fucking game, right?
Yeah.
You're just at the beginning, your character selection screen, you can be a man or you can be a woman. But there is a canon story. There is hey, this is what actually happened in this storyline, and Revan is a dude. Bottom line, Revan's a male. Now, KOTOR 2, the Jedi Exile, which you could also play as a man or a woman, Jedi Exile, Meet Your Surik, is female. That's the canon. Like that's what it is. But, it would give them an ample opportunity to fuck it up. I don't want that shit.
Ample.
What?
No, you're right. It would make. Who knows what they would do? Like I could see it now. For Revan could not be in the Acolyte series, right? He doesn't fit the time period.
The Acolyte.
Acolyte. Does it even matter?
The Ocarina of Time.
Does it even matter? The time period anymore? They could just put him in for whatever reason.
Might as well. I mean, Revan lived approximately 4,000 years before the movies took place.
Yeah.
3,900, something like that. But Acolyte takes place, 200 years, 150, 200 years? There's rumors that he's showing up. There's like rumors that Keanu Reeves did it.
I know.
But I don't know, man.
Maybe they'll find him in like an orb and they'll open up the orb and he'll magically appear in some new force power that we've never heard of before. And they're like, hey, you've released me. Like, and he turns into like a genie that was trapped in a little ball. And that's going to be the plot. All these women get together. We got to find this power. We hear about this ball we got to find.
Actually, Revan's spirit did exist for a while. There was a whole thing in Star Wars: The Old Republic, and the Emperor kept him in stasis for a long time. It's a lot to explain. The Revan shit gets wild in Star Wars: The Old Republic lore. But we've got a couple corrections, Jay, to your claim about Palpatine. Yellow Flash says the Emperor was an Obi-Wan at the end. They did use him. It's crazy that we forget about that.
I totally forgot. So I don't even remember that scene.
And then also, Nikki says Palpatine was in Bad Batch, if that counts.
I never watched Bad Batch.
Nikki's one of 30 people that are still watching that show. So that does count, though.
Yeah, that counts. So I am... Thank you for correcting me, Chad, as always.
There you go. And we did correct it right off the bat because you're like, well, I guess he's been in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that's true. I was mentally at Disney Plus stuff. So
yeah, no, it's easy to forget all the dog shit that they've put out over the years. Weird Man Productions gifts a membership. Thank you. Subhuman with 5 gifted memberships.
you.
Thank you, Subhuman. Tobias for 5. Can someone explain to me how the hell there's full video or full campaign videos of Modern Warfare 3 when the game doesn't even release till the 10th? I mean, I just assume that it's I just assume it's people that have early access that are, got deals to promote it and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh, we just got a super chat from Jeremy's Barber for $2. Says hail. Thank you, Jeremy's Barber.
I think release them a crack and post it on Twitter. Jeremy using the Floby. It's pretty funny.
Was like a face over thing.
Yeah, you're in it too, actually. So
sweet.
Pretty good. They had the greatest commercial ever, right? They had like some kid with like messed up hair, and mom was just.
Bro, I miss old infomercials where it's just like white people can't do anything.
Yeah, like especially the one like where people like tumble and fall trying to carry simple objects.
That's how I imagine you go through life.
No, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Hold on, white people.
I do probably spill food from time to time, but I think everybody does that.
I'm looking up white people in infomercials. Let's see if I can find a.
I think one of the worst pains is like when you wake up and you like freaking, ram your toe into the wall or something that was left on the floor.
Yeah, this has banjo music playing. I don't know if we can play banjo music, so I'll keep it muted. But this is, I don't know exactly what's in this, but this is what I imagined a day in the life. I think other races have it bad. Try being white. Oh, spill everything. Oh, the tape. Oh, I can't figure out the measuring tape. Oh, pouring soda. Oh, that's a lot of juice, Grandma. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Not again. I'm chopping onions. Oh, my hand really hurts. I'm trying to get all this stuff out of the cabinet. Oh, my God. What? I'm cracking eggs, and I just cracked it all over the stove. Oh, my God.
Was that someone using a fork?
Oh, here's my salad, my taco.
I can't eat it.
Oh, look at this guy. This is Jay trying to eat chips and drink. Oh, I got it. Oh, shit. I spilled everything. Oh, I can't open that. Oh, my wrist hurts from squirting the Windex. Oh, God. Look, I can carry all of this. Oh, no, I can't.
We have it tough.
Oh, I'm white. I don't know what this is. Come on.
What is this? Dumping paste all over his face.
I think it's milk. I would imagine. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't get this lettuce in the juicer. Oh, there's a lot of stuff to carry. Oh, I'm going to get this hot soup. Oh, my God, it's too hot. Look at my wallet. It's so fat. Oh, it's so sunny out.
Sun.
Oh, I blew up the toilet again. What am I going to do? What the? Wait. Hold on. What is this?
That's not from an infomercial.
This is not like, I don't think this scene's from someone trying to unstick a toilet, all right? Come on. Bro. What?
Woo.
What?
Dude, that's one big pile.
Oh my. That is one big.
We got it hard, man. I've got it. Life is tough over here, man. Life is really tough.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of those things you can find in Jay's day to day. Like he cracking eggs and it just rolls right in the stove.
I have done that. I have done that a few times, but not recent. I've never opened an egg with a fork. You just crack them on the counter like everybody else.
I actually crack it on the side of the bowl usually. That's what I do.
Do you wait when you cook scrambled eggs? You put it in a bowl first, scramble them up, and then dump it on the.
Mhm.
All right. I dump them in the pan first and scramble them that way. Well, it's already hot.
Nah, usually well, I typically don't do that. One, because I'm usually cooking something else besides scrambled. Like, usually have, like, peppers or something or, like, spinach or something that I've been doing before I put the eggs in. So I get all the eggs ready and shit to go. But, I mean, I
Mm,
have done it before, I don't like to do it.
I got you. Because I used to have a big fat piece of cheese in there, like
Like American cheese,
cheddar.
cheddar, that
Yeah.
yeah, melts while you do it, yeah.
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 That's it.
Ryan needs to commentate Jay's life. I basically just did.
He just
I can see Jay on the couch. He's, like, got remote in one hand, bowl of chips in the other, and a drink, and he's like, "Oh, how do I do this?"
I've bought like some good equipment to help with that. So I got one of those tray tables that has wheels that you could just roll out and make sure you got to make sure it's put together properly. So
Doug B for 20. Star Wars The Old Republic is my favorite Star Wars game. I play it all the time. The class stories are so well written. Yeah, I think the Star Wars The Old Republic is a massively underrated game. I think a lot of people shit on it because it's not what they wanted. They didn't get a KOTOR 2, but I just think it's really fucking good. Not all of the stories are great, but I think the Inquisitor, I like the Jedi Knight storyline. Sorry, the by the Inquisitor, I didn't mean Inquisitor, but the Sith, like the Sith Inquisitor storyline is good. But I mean the agent. The agent storyline is fantastic. So Trooper one's okay. Mandalorian one's or Bounty Hunter one's okay. Anyway, let's get back to some of these super chats. Thank you, Doug B. Mr. Jandra for 2 zip ties times 4. Yeah, if you want to never get tangled. Hulk locked. Welcome to the 199. Desirius gives a member. Thank you. Just Nova for 5. As a previous active duty member, I can relate to buying a fake tree PCSing from Okinawa to Virginia Beach, LA, etc. A real tree is like another pet. Yeah, real trees are kind of annoying. They're kind of annoying.
maybe if you have animals that pee on it.
If I said KOTOR, I meant KOTOR. Yeah, people wanted a KOTOR 3, and that's not what they got. So that's what I meant if I misspoke. Project Taco for 2. I lost chorizo my hamster. I'm puking blood. I told you, don't get a fucking tattoo.
Ew.
Taker for 5. Based on what we just heard about Blade, why not just put Mahershala Ali into the Marvels as a street vendor or something? It'd be the same movie.
Might as well. Might as
Mahershala
well.
Ali was just like selling hot dogs or something in the
Well,
Marvels.
this does kind of like all that Blade news kind of, I mean, just when they were having script problems and he wanted to leave, all those rumors that were out there, like, yeah, I don't want to be in this movie. I guess they gave him the script of a bunch of women dealing with everyday life, and he's like,
yeah, they gave him a script about women dealing with their periods and shit.
yeah, it's like,
and
yeah,
he's like,
you could use somebody else. I'm good.
Although I could write a story of women dealing with their periods and have a vampire involved. I feel like I could find something.
Oh man, no!
What?
It's gross.
I could make a script like that work.
Oh,
like
if anyone can do it, definitely you.
Like the dude that they want to date or that they're seeing only like wants to spend time with them when they're on their period and they can't figure out why. And like turns out he's actually a fucking vampire. Come on.
Maybe it might be better than it's probably better than what we're getting anyway.
Hey, I've got a female in it too. I've got a woman. MCU. Let's do it.
Holy crap! Someone just said Jay's never heard of getting your Red Wings, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine like you get the phone call and they're like, "Hey, man, they want you to be the next Blade," and what you remember is like Wesley Snipes, kicking butt in the first 2 and third one, but still like first 2, and it's like, oh, dude, that gets to be me. Like that's gonna be awesome. And then you get the script, and it's like, well, actually, you're kind of a side character. You show up for like 15 minutes. It's gonna be about women, probably dating. Yeah, like you said, everyday life. And one of them ends up dating a vampire. They don't know what to do. And eventually Blade shows up to kill him. And that's the end of the film.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I don't need to.
It's got Oscar written all over it.
Yeah.
Mike Hill for 5. Jay Raging Rhino played a couple of videos last night that mentioned you with articles with Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you in a lot of those articles, Jay.
Nothing I haven't said 2 years ago. For some reason, it just kind of got brought up. So
Jay's massive moose knuckle for 199. King Kong or Optimus Monkey?
I got to go with Optimus Monkey.
Nate the Great for $5. Have you guys seen the clown that hides from gay people? Have you seen that, Jay?
No.
I have.
Okay. What am I missing? Something flew way over my head on that one.
So let me reread it again.
The sparks ain't connecting, man. Like something's.
Have you guys seen the clown that hides from gay people?
Clown that hides from gay people?
Have you seen him?
Oh.
He must be hiding from you then.
All right. Thank you for the super chat.
There you go. Archer Blades
got me good.
for 320 yen. You guys watch Invincible? New season's out. I haven't watched it. Steiner Math for 5. The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for Star Wars. That's right.
Yeah.
Quattrino VR for 199. Mark my words. OT reboot with Hayden and Ewan within 15 years. I mean, you could say, Mark, I've been saying that for fucking like 4 years.
Yeah.
That whenever George passes away, they're going to wait for that to happen, and then they were going to do something like this. Not because they need to, not because there's any contract, not because of that shit, but just because I don't think they would want to do that with him still being alive to potentially comment on it. That's just my opinion.
And I agree. I think they will use Ewan McGregor. Why not? He's not really doing much.
Danny Ben 17 for 5. I need help getting my dad a Christmas present. Any suggestions? Danny Ben, am I missing something? Danny Ben 17.
If you go on Amazon, just type in dad Christmas gifts. They'll help you out.
Get him a nice pair of socks and a tie.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I don't know your fucking dad.
I don't know what he wants.
It's like if I said get him a pair of socks and a tie, he could be a beach bum who only wears fucking flip-flops and tank tops. What the fuck's he gonna do with socks and tie? I don't know your dad.
Get him a, when all else fails, Visa gift card. I think he can get what he wants. Get him,
your dad. Here's a $50 Visa debit card gift that you're gonna use once to buy something for $23, and you're gonna forget about it, leave it in your wallet because you don't know how much is on it, and eventually you're gonna have to call some fucking number and wait on hold for 5 minutes before you finally get the balance of $37.21. And by that point, you realize what you want to buy is actually $41, so you stick it back in your wallet and you just never use it.
I just use them for gas anytime I get one.
Maybe he only wears a sock and a tie. Well, then he could use one more sock. Fable of Man for 5. I'm surprised Filoni isn't an adult filmmaker. He created the largest circle jerk on screen to date with all his series and characters. It's pretty good. Tobias Nexus for 5. You don't need grand visuals to tell an amazing story. Just look at all the independent movies and indie games that use pixel or even 8-bit graphics. True. Did Don Wavy for 5. Also, story must be organic. Don't write for a woman or a man. Just organically let the character be. Hashtag go woke, go broke. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 5. Ray Ryan, I just realized where Ahsoka learned to do the arm crossing and stoic facial expressions. Just look at your YouTube channel avatar. Yeah, she stole it from me.
That's true.
Bush and Ryucat for 5. Palpatine was also in Robot Chicken. Just want to promote Robot Chicken. Caw. Thank you.
That's true.
Did Don Wavy for 5. Can't wait till people with iPhones and AI make better movies and studio productions that earn money over YouTube. Hashtag next frontier. Andrew CR, Ryan commentary makes that video more hilarious.
All his commentary makes things more hilarious.
Sometimes.
Pretty good.
The Carnivore Trucker for 5. That infomercial video was a day in the life of Jay.
It was.
Maybe we got our next intro to TNME there.
Yeah, great.
Grandmaster Chris for 5. Hi, Ryan and Jay. Hope you're having a good Friday. If they ever adapt KOTOR 2, Mitra and Visas will scissor each other. Ale199 and Gina Carano. Probably. You're probably not wrong.
Oof.
All right, where the fuck am I? Jeremy's barber for 2. I just cut Jeremy's hair. Thank you. My cum smells for 2. That's called churning the doo-doo butter. Yeah, that looked weird. That was a weird way to end that infomercial.
Whew.
Mike Hill for 5. The last one was Ryan's toilet after eating Taco Bell. My stomach is insulated against Taco Bell. Hayden for 10. If Jay just does a recreation of that infomercial supercut, G&G, the whole other crew would never need another penny. I wish that were true.
Someone just follow me around with a camera.
We have to talk about Loki, though.
Yeah.
Jay, we got to talk about Loki because on top of the bad streaming numbers for Ahsoka, we also finally got the numbers for the season 2 premiere of Loki. And remember, Loki season 1 was like the biggest success story for Marvel on Disney Plus. The most highly rated thing. They had more people tuned into that than any other series they've ever had on Disney Plus, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Marvel, whatever. So season 2, there's a lot of high expectations. And all along the way, we said it's going to be an indication of where the MCU's at if they have a massive drop off in their audience. And I even put this out the day that Disney put out a damage control statement about how many views they got that was tracking up to that point, just a little bit higher than Ahsoka, but not as high as Mando season 3. I put out this is October 9th, I believe. Disney's already running damage control. Basically, Loki season 2 is tracking slightly higher than Ahsoka, but considering season 1 was the best performing Disney Plus series to date, I'm guessing when we get the real numbers, it will have lost around half its audience. Brutal. I got some pushback on that.
You got a lot of happy people commenting on you for this tweet.
Yeah, people like, oh, look at this idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about, blah, blah, blah.
You know nothing about numbers or finance.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Nothing.
Well, here we are, 4 weeks after the fact. Loki debuts lower in streaming rankings. The season 2 debut of the Marvel series pulls in less viewing time than its 2021 season premiere. Season 2 of the Marvel series premiered October 5th, and it gathered 446 million minutes of viewing time over its first 3 days. That's about 40% lower than the 731 million minutes of viewing for Loki's season premiere week. Here it is. Now it's known. Thanks for putting this together. There's Loki, right? Can't even crack the top 10. You have to go to original programming to find the numbers. Loki, 446 million minutes watched. About a 40% drop off in minutes watched from season 1. But keep in mind, Jay, Loki has an entire first season that people could have rewatched, that people could have done anything with, that contributes to all that viewing time. I'd have to imagine you're looking at least 10 or 15% of these people that did season 1 rewatches or whatever in the lead up to season 2. So we don't know what that official number is. But the best case scenario, if not a single fucking person watched anything, which isn't practical, was that it lost 40% of its viewing numbers. 40%. The reality is it's close to half. Just like I said 4 fucking weeks ago when Disney put out their damage control statement. When you factor in the season 1 rewatches, they have lost probably about half of their audience between season 1 and season 2. It's just extra at this point to say Marvel's failing. We know that. Now there's mainstream media outlets writing entire bombshell hit pieces on Marvel because of how they're struggling. But this should be a bigger story than it is right now if it wasn't for all the other Marvel stuff that's out there. The fact that the best performing series, their hit, their big time success on Disney Plus, Loki, has lost half its audience because people have walked away from the MCU.
They just walked away. And this is a wild question, and I don't know if we have the answer. We did hear that Disney plans on finishing and purchasing Hulu. Do you think that when they get that all complete, that they might shift these shows like premiering on Hulu instead of Disney Plus? Do you think that will help the numbers if they decided to kind of merge or something like that? Or will they just keep it like by the Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN package kind of thing? keep
I
that up?
don't
Or do you,
really know what their long-term plan is. You know, obviously Disney already owned 2/3 of Hulu.
right,
When they made that purchase 5 years ago, it was with the addendum that the last third of that purchase would be, I think, 5 years after the fact, which is now. So everybody knew this was coming. Everybody knew this was
right.
happening. The question is, how much will it cost them? A minimum of about $8.5 billion, but it could end up being much higher than that, depending on what it appraises for. But as of right now, they have the power to do that if they wanted to. They have put some of their stuff over on Hulu to cross
Okay,
promote. I think
okay,
we'll see more of that. But in terms of will it premiere over there? I don't know. As of right now, they've been treating them as separate-ish
right.
entities. Will that change in the future in the next couple of years once they officially own the entire thing? I don't know. I'm not sure. I really have no idea of what they could do or if that'd help them at all.
Did you hear the rumor that most of that money's going to Comcast? That they're buying out, and so which is Universal, will have the money to buy Warner Brothers if they wanted to.
Well,
It's just speculation. There's nothing in concrete or anything like that, but it's interesting to read people like say, this could happen if this goes as planned. That'd be kind of interesting if Universal owned Warner Brothers.
well, they'll need a lot more than like $8 billion to
Yeah,
buy Warner
absolutely.
Brothers. I don't know where Universal's sitting in terms of what does their cash on hand look like, what does their debt look like. Warner Brothers Discovery has a lot of fucking debt. Warner Brothers Discovery has around 45 to 50 billion dollars in debt. So anybody that does purchase it also has to do it with that in mind. So I don't know. That would be wild. Reportedly, Disney, one of the reasons that Disney's looking to sell their Indian company
Yeah.
that they have for around 8 to 10 billion is to get the money to buy Hulu.
Right. So that's how they do it.
Yeah. So I don't know though, in terms of Universal and Warner Brothers, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. They would need more than 8 billion, certainly, but I don't know what their cash flow looks like right now. But we do, apparently there's an Echo trailer that's just dropped.
Oh, how nice. Is it?
Can you
Is it
hear
gonna-
anything?
Yeah, I was about to say. Is it going to be silent?
Now, look, you just made this statement, Jay, about Hulu. This says Marvel Studios Echo official trailer, Disney Plus and Hulu.
Oh,
They're putting it on Hulu straight away.
wow. Yeah, see?
Good call, Jay.
I got a couple every year.
All right, let me make sure it's HD. All right. Well, first of all, I mean, this is quite the thumbnail. Who wouldn't want to click on this? This looks exciting as hell. I don't know. Like, this is what it is. That's the thumbnail. Mean mugging woman who's indigenous and doesn't have a leg and can't hear right, but she ain't gonna take no shit from men. You hear me?
Look at that. Hulu Disney Plus in the top corner. Interesting.
Yeah,
That's wild.
that is really fucking strange. Notre Dame J. All right, let's watch this thing. Let's react.
I see it, by the way.
Maya.
He said, "I don't know what you're saying." I saw that.
Yeah.
At first, I thought this was Blade's cameo.
Be everything that you are. I always have.
Hell. We knew King Kong was going to be in it.
He always plays man, he's
Don't be afraid.
Here we go. Bro, hold on. Did you see this? Make America Skate Again.
wow.
Make America Skate Again is what's on it's probably a skating rink or something, but I think that's interesting.
It's just echoes that they're playing.
You have so much pain in you. You. So much rage. That you can't contain it.
shit.
Oh, hey.
You and I are the same. So, who's the monster?
It's a female Punisher.
Yeah, and you got to really care about it because you care about Kingpin, right? You really like Kingpin, so you really want to you really want to watch this on Hulu and Disney Plus.
TVMA though.
I do listen. There is some parts of this that I think are pretty cool, like in terms of how brutal it is.
Yeah.
Like they're not holding back, which is good. And maybe they've heard people's reaction to what their fears are for the Daredevil shit and everything like that they weren't going to go hard. It seems like they went hard. That shot of the dude getting shot in the neck was that shocked me for a Disney Plus title. But overall, bro, I do not care about this character at all.
Nah, not at all.
You put yourself in a bind when your character can't speak. You know? Your character cannot speak. Your main protagonist cannot speak.
So it'll probably go through Kingpin as maybe the narrator, I'm assuming. But how many TVMA stuff do they have on Disney Plus? Like not many.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not many. So that is kind of interesting that they went this route. But what I'm looking forward to the most is if she uses sign language in this series, and if she's actually uses the correct sign language. I wonder if the deaf community will be up in arms if she uses like they them sign language and not the ASL standard. So we'll see.
Don't be afraid, Jay. I know you've heard that Echo's a disaster. I know you've heard that they wanted to drop it all at once because it's just a convoluted mess. But we have a teaser trailer for you. Don't be afraid. We're the same.
It is.
We're the same, you and I. That's the same shit he said to Daredevil, right?
Right.
So that's what they're pulling from this. Overall, I don't think the trailer was bad, considering what we know the show's going to be. But yeah, when your character can't speak, it just
they played that in the trailer, right? They were trying to make it sound like echoes, like I guess.
Yeah, you're like, so. Yeah, I agree.
So
make America skate again, though. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. That's Echo.
Dumping. So this is the first time that Disney Plus will dump its entire series in one shot. They're going to pull a Netflix.
Do you know why they're doing that?
They don't believe in it.
Because they don't want people talking about it for longer than a week.
Yeah. They don't believe in it. So could you imagine if this is actually like something like, holy crap, it's really good. Why do they not want people to talk about it? Because it's like not woke or anything. Like I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying
it would be funny if they have a banger, but they don't think it is because they have no idea what like the audience wants anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, God, this is just so brutal. And we didn't talk about oppression of women in it.
Yeah.
It's like people are gonna hate this. Let's just push it out all at once. Now we have heard that there's gonna be like a whole big story about because she has Native American ancestry, she's indigenous, and there's gonna be a whole thing about how oppressed they are and everything in this.
Boy, that's
there was a couple little clips of that in the trailer that you saw, but
that's a big checkbox, man. Disabled, deaf, indigenous, female. Is she gay too? Probably. I guess we'll find out. Might as well.
About to have some deaf scissoring. Andrew CR says, I bet the deaf community will be speechless when it comes to Echo.
Me and Ryan and Chrissy were actually at Universal Studios, and we befriended some deaf lesbians.
Speaking of deaf scissoring.
Yeah. Well, they were awesome, man. They hung out with us. It was pretty cool while we were in line.
I didn't really get too attached. You were able to talk to them, so
yeah. I took sign language as my foreign language in college. So
what's foreign about sign language?
That's why I'm like,
deaf people need
now that
passports?
I think about it, I'm like, that's probably not the right terminology, but you know, like for you had to take like a language. So I took sign language.
Gremlin Anku for 10. It kills me when I'm watching wrestling, mainly AEW now, with all these signs in the crowd with insert name here eats corn the long way. Oh, yeah. There you go. Kelly Paulson for 199. Thank you. Russ Williams, member for 5 months. I wonder if Danny Ben is related to Chris Ben. Maybe. Empty Headed, member for 8 months. Speaking of shows, did either you watch the spinoff of The Boys, Gen V? If so, I'd love to hear your thoughts on if it's worth a watch. I have no interest in watching it. I will probably watch the next season of The Boys to review it with FNT, but I think the second season jumped the shark, and I think the third one's when everyone finally figured that out. Gen V, the entire premise just sounded like it was going to be a super woke mess to me, and I didn't watch it.
Hold on a second. I didn't watch the show either. Did we miss this in the trailer? Hold on. I'm gonna highlight something. Daredevil is in the red suit in Echo.
Was that him? I mean, that looks like him to me. If that happened, it went by in a blip. So yeah. I mean, we have heard that he was going to be in it. So it's not surprising.
All right.
Yeah, we knew
There we go. Let's bring in old Daredevil. Yeah.
One blind, one deaf. Their powers combined.
They turn into Handyman from In Living Color. I don't know if you know who Handyman is. It's a superhero we all need.
Yeah. I mean, like the trailer itself, I don't think it was a bad trailer. I think you're limited. Why should people care about Echo when she's not going to be able to speak? I think that is a problem. But Taker for 2. Scarlett Johansson's using an AI app. We're there. Or suing an AI app. We're there. That's true. Dadon Wavy for 199. She's only going to kill white people. Maybe. Smooth the DJ. At least Echo's thoughts will be in the subtitles, right? I don't know.
That's an interesting point.
Well, I assume that she will sign and that it'll be subtitled. A lot. Don't you?
You think she'll make like nothing against deaf people, but sometimes when they try to talk, it comes out really like loud and
we saw her a little bit in
a little comical. So I don't know if they're gonna do it like that.
We saw her a little in Hawkeye, right? So like that's what I would expect. She wasn't like making noises or anything when she was talking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have you ever heard deaf people making noise when they? Probably not.
Yes, I know it. You want me to do it?
No, don't do it. I just wanted to make sure.
You just keep talking about it, so I didn't know if you wanted me to do an impression. Well, it's not like any deaf people are going to hear it and get offended.
True. Maybe their allies will.
Maybe their significant utters, cow allies. Booty for a buck. Have you ever heard a deaf woman orgasm? It's the funniest and scariest thing ever. Can't say I have. Can't say I have.
I might have to put that on the list.
Before movies sucked. New trailer for Godzilla -1 just dropped. Looks amazing, and the budget estimate is $15 million. Not sure I believe that, but I'm sure it's a fraction of the recent Disney flops around 200, 300 million. 15 million seems really light for some of the effects work that we've seen in that, but that would be crazy. That would be wild if it was 15 million. Project Taco, what's Mexicans' favorite sport? Cross country. Is that funny?
Yeah.
You know why Mexico fucking sucks at the Olympics?
No.
Because everyone that can run, jump, and swim is already here.
It's not funny.
That's like a 5th grade joke. Crispy for 4 months says, "Do it, Ryan." No, I'm not doing the impression. I'm not doing the impression. But anyway, all right. That's gonna be it for us today, guys. We're already over a little late because we reacted to that Echo trailer.
Yeah.
Jay, what do you got going on?
I'm gonna play the new Fortnite map. Sounds like a a banger of a Friday for me.
which is the old Fortnite map.
Yeah, it's the original. So it's like setting I mean, a lot of people are going back to it, like setting records and of people playing it. So I think all of G&G is playing it at 2:00 Eastern today on Geeks and Gamers Play. So I think I'll join them if they have space.
There you go. It sounds like a blast. Have fun
Yeah.
with that. I'll be on Friday Night Tights in a little bit. So that's where I'll be at 4. We're going to be talking about Loki and all the Marvel shit, I'm sure. Should be fun. But thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We'll talk to you Monday. Oh, shout out to the Quartering, who I
Oh yeah, I was
had me on
about
the
to
show
ask you about
yesterday.
that, but we ran out of time.
That was fun. I was on Quartering's show, and he plugged this show a lot too. So anybody that's here from Quartering's show, I appreciate you guys being here, and thanks to Jeremy for having me on. It was a blast. But other than that, we will talk to you guys next week. Have a good one. Peace.
Take care.